Whoa, shit. You done revealed the devil in you, man.
Let me enjoy this moment, Gregory. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't listen to that heartbeat. No, yeah, shake that. Shake that.
Hey, guys. Right now, Roxy has discovered the truth about Interview with a Vampire.
I've been lied to and bamboozled.
There's not as much in the show as she hoped for. I'm so sorry.
I just wanted to see them get it on all the time. Is that too much to ask?
Wow. There's websites for things like that.
Yeah, I just thought this was one of them.
Yeah, AMC. Hey, we're going to watch episode 3 today. I'm sorry. I feel really bad. And here's the truth. I have never felt bad for anyone for this ever in my life.
I feel like I was toyed with by the people. No, listen, I'm here for some sensuality. That's fine. I'm locked in. I'm dialed in.
All right. Well, on that note, let's find out how good episode 3 is today.
There's a column in here about the history of this lovely square. It says that the man who designed it did so after the Place de Rouge in Paris. I can't see that. Used to be called the Place d'Armes.
Are they in France?
I prefer that, don't you? Mm-hmm. The Louisiana Purchase was signed here.
Nope. Definitely not.
Pennywise, Frank Foolish.
Say anything about how they used to take runaway slaves, cut their heads off, and like them on the iron gates.
So we can't be Civil War time.
I'm only half.
No, definitely. No, we're way past that.
So we're World
We're like
War
in the 1900s.
We are
right?
now?
Are we?
We're put on Earth for a larger purpose.
We're World War One?
I put you on this earth.
We'll find it.
Your purpose is to enjoy yourself.
That can't be all there is. I know you don't believe that.
Well, tell me what I believe, Louis. Excavate the hearted thoughts buried beneath my damned soul.
We can eat animals and be okay. Rats, cats, cattle.
Oh.
Is okay what you desire, Louis?
Ooh.
Shall we walk the night as the gods of easily attainable dreams?
Oh my God.
I desire blood as much as you do. But I wonder, should we be more selective?
What? Only eat redheads? The humorous? Define your terms.
The worst of them.
I love how this is a real
And how would we go
crossroads
about
for them.
determining that?
You lose our power, read their minds.
Hunting is pure
Yeah,
instinct.
and find out who's bad. I like that.
Reason is a set of leg irons.
The ones you admire, the poets, composers, the thoughtful man who designed this park you love so much.
Ooh.
Shouldn't we spare them the randomness of our killing?
Every one of them is capable of abomination, even the ones worthy of admiration. Shakespeare, Brahms,
No.
this naturalist that your mind.
Got it off your bookshelf.
I suppose it's embarrassing that I don't know what
their
war
Lord
we're in.
God and Savior is not listening.
That's not. We're Americans. We don't know our history.
They came from apes. We came from them. We should be better than they are.
You refer to them as they to get on my better side.
Try something for me, Monsieur.
Say we come upon a murderer planting a flower bed, thinking only of flowers.
These guys are both trying to change each other.
How long do we wait before his bloody deeds reveal themselves?
As long as it takes.
You haven't thought this through, Louis.
You said you would try. Just gotta hold it in. Only another mile.
So inebriated, he's worried he'll urinate all over himself.
He's just a drunk.
$18 in a dress. She ain't never gonna miss it.
Stealing from his mother
What is that? Food? Or wants to go home.
for a new suit.
Petty larceny.
Starts with a suit, soon he'll be knocking over banks.
You gonna take this serious or not?
What's that I hear? Oh yes, it's the angel of starvation passing over us.
He's funny.
All these stupid people. Everybody's so stupid.
Him.
Because he thinks you're stupid?
He steals from unfortunates, breaks into tenements, and robs them of their meager possessions.
Good.
And does that meet your satisfaction?
We need a code. Whoa!
Because he's going to get satisfaction.
If you don't mind the shaking, I've snapped his spine. It's merely his nerves spasming.
Still not down with the
Here's
torture.
your criminal biscuit. See how it tastes.
Ew, God.
Your reason or his heart fails us.
Whichever one comes first.
No. Oh, that. Oh, come on. That's bullshit. Seriously.
Well, why? Like, he already did get the guy.
I
so
know.
why?
You're the one who said he's a bad guy. Eat an innocent
He's
cat.
trying to make a point, but even that was too much for me.
Says you heard about the Azalea all the way in Atlanta. They talking about this place in Atlanta. You're angry.
I'm pondering.
Pondering what?
Your night had nothing to do with ridding the world of criminals or finding some morality to buoy your existence. You're ashamed of what we are.
He's adjusting.
Maybe I'm just pondering what I am.
For the infinitesimal time, you're a vampire.
Could you not use the word in my place of business?
Oh, he's so hot.
Place of business, a cover, an illusion to throw off the scent of the dogs.
This illusion is fronting a dozen businesses up and down Claiborne.
For every 20 people he kills, he makes one small businessman's dreams come true. Louis de Pointe, the Dark Prince of Iberville.
He's so in hiding right now, but in the present time, he's like trying to be out in the public about it. Evolution is interesting.
I recognize her.
I
Target?
don't want to kill people anymore.
Is that a target for him?
There it is.
The way
Do I recognize her from Target?
No. Is that a target for
Fish that
him?
doesn't swim, a bird refusing flight.
Yeah, vampire refusing to.
It is a target.
You're going to struggle.
Yeah.
I fear for the feline population of New Orleans.
So does Greg.
Yeah, man, that was messed up.
Your pianist has lost his passion.
What?
Mr. Martin, you have played the same melody the very same way for 2 weeks now. Your talent is immense, but your mind is elsewhere.
What are you doing?
Think you could do better?
Why doesn't he
Well,
say
I'm
it?
not being paid a small fortune on top of that tip jar to perform. My skills are irrelevant.
People didn't come here to hear you jabber, Mr. Lioncourt.
Well, they didn't come here to hear you play either.
Oh,
Otherwise, you'd be in a concert hall and there'd be fewer prostitutes.
oh no.
This ain't your kind of music.
You can pretend you're a vegetarian. I can pretend the fool.
The irony of being a vegetarian by eating animals.
Be my guest.
For our boys being shipped off to Europe.
Okay, so we're World
Know
War
your
One.
enemy.
We can't be in World War II yet, right? There's no way we're in the 30s and 40s. This has to be in the teens. Based on the outfits.
Gradually miss Mr. Martin. What you hear is genius.
All I hear is a man that's never gotten his dick wet.
Oh,
Actually, the man had 20 children in his lifetime, and you're sort of stuck on that wet dick zinger, Ferdinand. Like your left hand on the piano, little walking patterns, isn't it?
Oh.
He admitted later there was nothing wrong with Jelly Roll's playing. Only something he overheard in an alleyway. A steady gig for the band in Chicago. Jelly was gonna leave me high and dry.
Oh,
in a
wow,
few
that's why he
days,
did
and
that.
Took umbrage. If I'm not mistaken,
Wow.
he improv'd the melody for what would later become the Wolverine Blue.
wow.
Wait, whoa. Hold on there. You're saying Lestat wrote the Wolverine Blues?
I can't be definitive. So much of that year was a blur, and you can imagine what time's inevitable hammer does to the minute details.
This.
That sounds like it.
Yes, that's it.
Again, the difficulty of memory.
The version we speak of now is the more nuanced portrait.
Or the more rehearsed.
Perhaps I was mistaken about the Wolverine Blues.
The Wolverine Blues.
Yeah.
Ken Burns can choke in the footnotes. It's the abused-abuser psychological relationship I'm talking about.
I do not consider myself abused.
Well,
I mean, usually when you're a little too close to it, the abused still loves the
Stockholm.
abuser. But you flipped it completely on its head.
I'm not a victim.
50 years later, you talk like he was your soulmate.
yeah.
Like you were locked in some Gothic romance.
Well, in some ways.
Why?
My editor reminds me it's 7 years before car seats are mandatory. My ex-wife reminds me I never owned a Buick.
So he's the
This
same.
is the
some
odyssey
way.
of recollection.
Yeah.
The tapes are an admitted performance. This is the premise of our interview.
Huh.
Half a century later, allow me my odyssey.
Half a century, so maybe it was World War II.
Someone's comment is put me out of my misery.
The last comment I read said, "Thank you for understanding the timeline, guys." Shit. If it was a half century, then that was World War II. Bummer.
Erased it all. Damn.
You were the prince of your district. Lestat chased an American icon out of town because he loved you. 1917 doesn't sound like it was such a
World
bad
War I.
year.
There you go. Finally. Thank you. Thank you, show.
Daniel.
Thank you so much.
It's not a half century then. It's more than a full, whatever.
He and Miss Brown dazzled the waiting Johns
since the interview.
and invited their admirers back to the
70s.
Rue Royale.
The last one to leave never left.
No, he would do his killing away from me now. Out of respect, he said, for the choice I
Wow. I did not expect
Oh.
that. Is that sweet? They should bone. Oh, no.
The frolic
Oh,
game
no.
repeated itself every night for 2 weeks. They would add another song to their set.
Oh,
and
no.
work on another at night while I tried
Oh,
to adapt to my
I
no.
wish someone warned me about this.
I barely had
It's
the
just not
energy to
my
hold up
ideal
a
thing
book.
to witness
My
right
libido
now.
was not
See,
where it
now
had
you're
to
rooting
be.
for
I
vamp.
understood the indulgence.
Oh, definitely.
I let it happen.
Was never anti-vamp.
Convince Lestat to keep playing.
Got a better chance making a Mississippi run north.
Wow.
We had a good run, but I did it for Louis.
I like
do
that saying.
everything for Louis.
Yeah, I heard that about you too.
Oh,
Ooh.
what have you heard?
I'm not a gossip.
But I am.
Well, people at the Azalea, they say you're confusing me.
Oh, yeah, because he goes both ways.
Mine don't bite.
You're
What do
confusing.
the employees at
He
the
so
Azalea
bites.
say about Louis and Lestat?
I wish.
I'll answer with a question. Are there 2 beds upstairs or 1?
Do you want to find out?
No one goes upstairs, Miss Brown.
There's 2 coffins.
Well, there's my answer.
What do you imagine confines us to a single note? Why not a chord? Why not a cluster?
Oh, see, I'm the same.
Cluster.
I like all sorts. I like soft hands. I like burnished complexions.
Oh,
I like
choice of
men
words.
Yeah.
dirty.
Your blouse is soaked in champagne. Bad, Daddy.
no, that's not really how it works.
I'm hungry. Think I'm gonna get something to eat.
Bad daddy.
Is the animal market
Is
still
the
open?
animal
Enjoy
market-
yourselves. It's the purpose of living. You get that way.
Purpose of living. He's not living.
She burn quick.
See for yourself. A dentist from Tallahassee.
Oh, pff.
There's a dentistry convention in town. Sinister talk of molars and bicuspids around every corner.
So you didn't kill her.
No,
What'd you do with her?
she has talents.
Oh, what kind? Tell us more.
They can use her.
Are not enough.
Ooh. Jelly!
Don't laugh.
That wasn't the reaction I was
Oh,
expecting.
no.
You have some squirrel on you.
No.
Be together 10,000 nights, 100,000. What we're doing is hard. Anything that wards off the dullness of the everlasting road we walk.
Ooh.
The pleasures of the flesh, pleasures of the kill. For me. Pleasures of the good book by the fire for you.
I can smell her on you.
Ooh.
From time to time, I like a little variety.
That should have been a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I said it.
When you're immortals, would you
I don't know.
I'm
respect
getting so much better now.
monogamy to that level?
I think you got to at least give it 100 years.
So I can whoever I want.
Of course.
I love that this is an actual
Of
conversation.
course.
Yeah, me
Of
too.
course.
He didn't feel like enough? Oh, no, but not,
As
of
long as you
course.
come home to me.
No, you're going to be
Of
jealous.
course.
No. No, it's not, of course. I can see through
While the
this.
domestic front simmered on diet and sanctioned infidelity, the Western front started receiving American
Sanctioned
troops.
infidelity.
New Orleans was the last stop before France
Wow.
for many young
All
men.
the whites only sign.
And City Ordinance 4118
Fighting for the country.
tried to ensure Uncle Sam's
Whites
money
only.
went into the right hands.
Ordinance 4118. I could Google it. Or you could.
A hastily composed attempt by the city to segregate Storyville.
Oh, pff.
It required that all prostitutes of colored or black race move their business across Canal Street.
Wow.
This was the heart of my
Even with the
business, what the
prostitutes.
Azalea was known for. The very men who signed the ordinance into law were some of my best clients.
Nuts.
How do you put it, Briggs?
Deprived us the use of our property without due process of law, denying us equal protection under the Constitution of these United States.
Huh.
No security guard in the doors. That's a woman counter's coin. No offense, Miss Williams.
Been called a cunny, a cow, and a bitch that ate 1,000. You want to apologize for calling me a woman?
Amazing
Ooh,
line.
leave your wife. I'll make you a happy
That's an
man,
amazing
Mr.
line.
Anderson.
Briggs don't take wooden nickels, and I'm the only security
Yup.
this place needs.
And that's the truth.
I'm doing my part to see them Jimmy hats get used.
Secretary of the Navy doesn't see it that way. He's got 400 men over at Charity getting treatment for the clap.
Oh,
I got pristine walking my floor. Now I'm offended.
pristine.
Washington's making us choose, Louis. It's either win the war or council's just stalling for time, chasing race.
Don't feel like a stall. Feel a little beside the point.
He's one man on a council of 17, Louis.
Maybe he's still sideways because I turned down his 15%.
Yup.
There's a gentleman asking for you, Mr. Dulac. A man in uniform.
What I say, Mr. Anderson? The war's coming knocking. Cash me out.
Holy Lord.
Family member?
Jonah.
Told Grace you wouldn't remember me.
Of course I remember. You were listening.
Hey, you better notice someone's playing.
Ah,
You seen Grace?
Saw her this morning, getting the yacht ready for a birthday party.
great. You're good at noticing what's playing is amazing. So many great expressions.
Oh, yeah, right. Twins. She got twin girls.
Barely keep her head straight. All those kids running around tugging at her dress. So you a big shot businessman now. Heard about Paul.
Oof, that was so sad.
Where you been, Jonah?
Philadelphia for a spell. Hotel work. Fellow working next to me blew off 3 fingers. I saw enough. So this might be a way to rise through the ranks. And
Oh, that sucks.
look like you already rose up. About fair amount.
Done all right.
Done all right. You want all this? Sign me up for done all right.
You ever think about those old days?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
What he sacrificed.
How long you here for?
Couple nights. The boat over the ocean. Me and a couple thousand other fellas were in this same costume.
So many themes about reality versus performance.
I didn't realize World War I, people were enlisting. I thought it was a draft.
We're in World War I right now?
You're making a joke.
Yes, I am.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I see.
What?
No, Katie
no, I
did.
didn't.
Gonna ruin those sharp shoes in this mud.
I got another pair back at home.
I bet you do. He's a living Louis.
I hope he doesn't kill this guy. That would suck.
I think he's thinking about the other thing with this guy.
Ain't aged a day since I seen you last.
That's the moonlight line, is all.
Isn't that a line right now?
You worried about going over there?
Some nights, me and my squad's all colored, so we mostly gonna be in the rear. Supply lines and shit.
Oh no, that's so not what it was.
Yeah, I got someone.
I figured as much. No ring on your finger.
Not a woman.
How's that front?
Well, what's he like?
He's a lot. It's not perfect, but we kind of have this agreement.
One of those you can drive out to the bayou kind of agreements?
Oh, shit.
Knew it.
Good fit.
Remember when he said he had done this before or something?
Well, it's the moonlight.
Did Louis... Oh, Lestat somehow get him over here.
You think Lestat did this?
I think he might have in
That'd be
some
crazy.
way manipulated it.
I mean, okay. Thanks, guys. You told me one thing, but I'm seeing another.
I think it's going to backfire.
Let me enjoy this moment, Gregory. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Don't
so
listen
worried.
to that heartbeat. Focus on the feeling of the good. Don't do what you're about to do. Oh no! Oh no! Biting himself. Oh my God! Oh! Ooh!
He needs some version of blood.
Oh!
Okay. Turned out fine.
How was your night?
Fine. Yours?
Fine.
Oh no. It's creating distance within him.
He found me, you know. Went to my old house on Esplanade. Grace told him where to find me.
An old love.
We had a few early fumbles. He was 16.
Oh, okay.
We both knew even then we were a little different. How's Antoinette?
Tedious.
Oh!
No, I don't see that happening again. These affairs always flame out. Shall we have a night out tomorrow?
Is he gonna kill him?
I was gonna go see Grace and the kids. Keep up appearances. How about after?
Oh no!
Let go of them.
Like a scene with you?
Oh no! Whose boots are those?
Many streets in New Orleans
He went out to the
weren't
mud.
paved
Is
at
that
the
what that
time.
means? He watched.
Looks like that.
Like he just came to view.
The mud on his boots could have come from anywhere.
Was it raining that night?
Yeah, I got someone.
He watched.
Could it be his boots?
Did it rain?
Yeah, I got someone.
Wow, this is so much about memory than I expected.
I don't remember now. It could have been dry in the bayou and wet in the quarter.
The Odyssey of Recollection.
Right.
I would meet Jonah decades later. You're lingering, Rashid.
Apologies, Mr. Dulac.
What did he say when he met you again when you were young and he wasn't?
Or was he turned?
What they all eventually say in one articulation or another.
You still look so the same.
The party was this afternoon.
Seeing my invitation got lost in the mail.
You want to come around, you come around when people are awake.
It's barely dinner time. I don't want to make a fuss.
6 months and you just show up.
Oh my God! His mom drives me nuts.
I own this home. I'm the executor in charge, so welcome don't matter.
I own this home. I get where she's coming from, but she says the worst things.
I got you girls some paper dolls.
Go back inside, son.
Son, I'm your son.
Coming off a little hot now.
I ain't come here to see you. I didn't come here to see you.
Louis.
Let him in the house.
That's why you didn't get
Radio.
invited.
Whoa, shit. You done revealed the devil in you, man.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
There he is. There he is.
You suck. You're the worst mom to him. And you pinned your other kid's death on him. And you don't invite him into the home that he owns. And you put his back against the wall. And you convince his sister to feel this way. I'm not saying he's been perfect, but are you kidding me?
Yeah, like as if saying, there he is. This is the real you.
Yeah.
I hope you don't blame Lestat for what's going on.
Whose shoes were those? I'm scared.
I have no idea.
And when we see the enemy, we'll shoot them in the rear. What do you think?
Oh, I thought we could have. You can. I can.
What about the coffin room?
That require curiosity and intelligence. All these murderous slubs want is more wine and a German on their bayonet. I brought them back after they.
Oh, God.
Miss Bricktop wanted you to have this.
I think she's on to us. Get him out of here.
Well, now that I know you have a type, I thought you'd be pleased.
Let's start.
You think this is his type? Oh, he gets them all to leave. Whoa.
That's awesome.
Whoa. You would use that so many times, Greg.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Everybody get out.
Oh, yeah. This would be the greatest gift in the world. I'm so Team Lestat.
Oh, he's bleeding. Using his powers. This feels very Star Trek-y, mind melding.
Oh, joy, oh, boy, where do we go from here?
I feel like you're so disapproving of him all the time.
Not funny.
What can I say? I'm a lot.
Oh, he heard it.
I'm not perfect.
He heard it, but he called him a lot.
I knew you would have.
Yeah.
Jealous?
Yes, I don't like sharing.
What about Antoinette?
It's different. I don't have feelings for her.
He did me some face and I drove him home.
He did me some face.
I heard your heart stamping! You watched the whole thing like some creeper.
And then I watched you pull over and drain a dog and run down an alleyway for 2 more rats.
Oh.
That's because you took my life. I got nothing. I lost everything. I lost my family.
Oh, boy.
About to lose the last fucking thing I care about.
This is why open relationships are so hard.
But what happened to that guy? Oh, no, he saw him years later, right? Jonah, okay.
Finn O'Shea used to work for me. Got a dirty house across the street.
Finn O'Shea serves sandwiches at his bar that makes him a supper club.
Oh, so you just starting with the color businesses then?
It does appear businesses run by white gentlemen are thriving.
I tried to persuade the city
Did you?
council. They said it was short-sighted at best.
Is that true?
Still clinging to his Creole heritage like a life raft.
Oh, there it is.
Might I suggest, Mr. Duloc, if you move your operation to the quarter, just keep your girls out the windows.
Who do you suggest gonna sell me a property in the quarter?
Make Mr. Lioncourt here the public face of your operation.
Oh, my God.
Not mine.
Well, there's, shall we say, a clannish majority. Maybe old Tom here had it right. Maybe in the end, Louis, you dumb pimp who got robbed blind years ago.
You suck.
Amazing how we could say one thing and think a completely separate thing.
Isn't that most people?
Did you sell me the azalea because you knew this day was coming, Tom?
I put a sir on the end of that.
You ain't answering my question, Tom.
Answer it.
We're all in this together, Mr. Duloc.
Don't touch him.
I'll be happy to buy the property back from you. Say 15 cents on the dollar.
When your mother sees the devil in your eyes, it's a hard assessment to abandon.
Totally.
Am I from the devil? Is my very nature that of the devil? I'd hedged against the question, but now it completely overwhelmed me.
Wow. Your nature would come from your mother.
You think I'm gonna let that snake bite me and my people?
You have your investments on the Claiborne Avenue.
Hats, little grocery stores, nickels, dimes, quarters.
Pretty apt to be playing solitaire.
I'm gonna speak for the girls and say as minority owners, that's a stupid business plan.
Oh.
I was what? I was manic.
That is a stupid business plan, but I get it.
And the hubris on display caused me to neglect my thirst. And in neglect, my thirst grew hotter. Temples throbbed, and finally, I could not stand it any longer.
Yeah, you're gonna snap, dude.
Oh my God.
Rats, cats, dogs would no longer suffice.
I honestly am all for this.
Take a black man in America, make him a vampire with that vampire, and see what comes of it.
Totally, exactly. You're so screwed. Oh, that's just whiskey. I thought he'd put some blood in there. He's behind you, isn't he?
Breaking into my home is one thing. Making me drop my attitude, now that's a new blow.
You want to see low? Watch us go low.
You're here to threaten me, I suppose. You think I have a vendetta against you, against your race?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Think that if you must. Storyville is the sinking ship. And naturally, you are the first to drown. But that's your problem, Louis. You're arrogant.
I love that this show is making us want him to kill him.
And your pale lover with his seemingly endless supply of capital. And the
Oh, yeah,
weird
he's
going
a-
on in your sodomite townhouse won't change
Sodomite.
the fact that you're a tiny man.
So he has issues with him being queer, too.
The sun.
Are you the sun? Because he'd be burnt up if you were the sun. You're not the sun. You're dust.
Why's your heart beating so fast?
Everything that's been done is legal under the City of New Orleans Charter. And again, I'm merely one alderman on that council.
Try it.
You're thinking about your wife and your 2 daughters. And how fortunate it is that they're away in your winter home.
Well,
That's a perfectly good suit he
I'll let you
ruined.
reload.
nice. Nice.
His ear.
I'm arrogant? Maybe I am arrogant.
Oh, cool.
What are you?
He's the devil.
I'm a vampire.
Oh, he just embraces it.
Oh.
Nice. That's fucking cool.
That's sick.
That's
What an
cool.
image.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everybody else who's walking around behind, did they not see it? Oh. Oh, no. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
I must confess, I'm very proud of you, Louis. It goes against much of my teaching, but you managed to execute it with such aplomb.
I didn't do it for me. I did it for my city, my people. Destroy our businesses and buy the land for cheap.
You did it for you, man.
Yeah.
Save that life for yourself. Did you not smile when he begged? Did you not feel pleasure as you carved him up?
Maybe you saw it coming and didn't stop me. Maybe you went quiet on purpose.
Love his walk.
You did what you did because it gave you pleasure. Companion of the dark gift, finally.
What he always saw.
We should make this our anniversary.
Anniversary? That out there, that's on me.
Oh, yes, but you merely provided them the excuse. So as I said, toss them into circumstance, they go for the throne.
Don't hurt him.
That's why you're always gonna be alone.
Don't say that.
I ran from the quarter that night. I stumbled through the streets like an irrational child. And now ask, can I make it whole again? Can I help you? Please let me help. Don't help.
Oh, no.
Please let me help you.
Their faces raced past me like snow, unaware that it was I who had brought this retribution.
Wow. All of their homes.
Yeah, it really invested us in this like little square here too. It's a whole past 3 episodes.
One of those inconceivable moments where who you were before and who you will be forever after is marked in time.
Oh, no.
A rooming house, now a fire trap. I could not save the Azalea.
Fire is a vampire threat.
Reveal.
I wonder what that real history.
The aunt on the wrong side of the wall.
Oh, shoot. Ooh.
My light.
Oh.
My Claudia. My redemption.
Oh.
My man.
Okay, Claudia.
Wow, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Really good episode.
This is so much better than the movie.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It doesn't even compare. It does not even compare. It does not even compare.
Hey, first off, before we start talking more thoughts, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been joining the Patreon page, becoming Royal Rejects. You guys are rock. It's where you get the full reaction watch along and sync up with your own copy. Secondly, you should get yourself a Reject sweater like the one Roxy's wearing.
With the blood dripping.
Or anything one at rejectnationshop.com. Thanks for writing these down. Seems like people have been liking what you're doing with it. Happy to see that. Man, you know what is really gnarly to me is how with Louis' race and how much, like him being a black man, of how much that factors into the storytelling of this. And watching like the divide happening with how like Lestat is so vampire. Like he's just like nothing but vampire, right?
He's had a lot of time to become that.
Yeah, exactly. And all this is happening. Like, it's so much more than Louis wanting to be a human being and what's going on. It's like, this is his people, like, who's watching them suffer right now. And you could kind of see in like Lestat's performance at the very end of like, they're not your people anymore. Like, everything that is just human is just not, I feel like he associates not him, even when it comes to like being a black man, I think.
Totally. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a part of many minorities. Like when he's referring to his people, it's the sexually fluid people in the brothel where he can be himself and people can be themselves and be queer. It's black people. It's his family. And now none of them are his people because he's no longer a person.
Yeah.
So I do think that loss of humanity in him, whether it's as much as he's trying to hold on to it, even when we see in the last episode as he's sitting there talking, doing the interview and eating real food, human food, because he wants to hold on to that part of his humanity, but he's no longer that. So that struggle is really interesting to watch. And also the power dynamic of, while you don't fit in with people anymore because you're a vampire, you're also still not as vampire as the person that turned you. Never will be. You'll never catch up to him. So it's like, where do you belong and what is your North Star?
Yeah. It's so well written.
It's so good. It's
written so well.
But I also thought it was sexy. I know I'm harping on that a lot, but like vampire stuff to me, I think that the relationship between Louis and Lestat is super toxic and super sexy. The fact that Louis is stepping out after permission and Lestat's been doing that, and Louis is like, am I not enough for you? And then Lestat's like, no, do whatever you want. Then he followed him.
Well, it's because it was emotional.
Yeah, and it was kind of hot. And like watching, again, wrong, not hot if you're actually living it, just hot to watch it. But the Louis Woods scene too was super sexy. And even having all the men in the house, like, now that I know your type, like, look what I've brought you, a bunch of soldiers. It's like, yeah, there's a lot to like about the show.
I mean, I thought I'm the weird guy who's like, I think it's hot when he's killing the white guy. Like, that's what I'm like, man, you seem pretty sexy guy right now. Like, that's what I think that's really cool. You know?
Do you also like when he's killing the cat?
No, of course not.
You find that hot?
No. I was.
How about the rats? Where's your line?
My line is animals. If he's killing snakes, I'm like, I don't really care.
The rats were really gross to me.
I have a weird thing where I'm like, I don't like watching animals die, but for some reason, snakes I'm totally cool with.
Would you rather eat a cat or a rat?
If I had to choose, a rat. I have 4 cats.
I know.
Why would I eat a cat?
It's bigger, probably tastes better.
No. Oh my God.
Why would you eat a human, Greg?
I would much rather eat a human. The humans are terrible.
You'd really, in 2026, as Gregory Alba, you would rather eat a human than a cat?
Yes.
Oh my God.
What?
Greg.
I could easily Dexter this shit the way how he's wanting to justify it. That'd be so easy. There's so many terrible people out there.
Yeah, okay. But that's why I said as Greg Alba in 2026 I didn't say you could.
You mean just as a human being?
Yes.
If I had to choose? Yeah, absolutely. I'd still go with the human being. We're overpopulated, man. There's too many bad people.
I love cats too. I hear you.
Got to Dexter it up. But I also
you know that Dexter doesn't eat the people, right? Like, did you watch Dexter?
I like that.
He's not a cannibal.
With the way how he was psychologically pushed to
he just
that.
Kills them.
I know. The way how Louis was psychologically pushed to that point. It all comes back to what makes the writing so good to me is like it keeps coming back to the key ingredient is that it always in some way ties back to Lestat and Louis.
Right.
Even when we're so much focused on Louis' psychology and it's his narration, it's the story he's telling and he's having adventures of his own and he's having these struggles with all these fucking white businessmen and shit and what they're pushing him to and he's losing his family. I love that it's like the emotional push that he's losing in order for him to like go to that breaking point, he's getting disconnected from humanity, from the way how humanity is treating him, not even knowing he's a vampire, just how he's being treated as a human being.
When they think that he's just a black queer man in this world.
Yeah.
The fact that like he isn't accepted by all the white businessmen, which is all of the businessmen in this city, checks out for the times. Like it's horrible, but I feel like that he might be able to accept, not like, but accept. The fact that his own mother doesn't accept him is what is like, to me, it's crushing my soul. Because when you go out into the world, you can't predict how people are going to treat you as anybody. But at home, your mom, you provided the house that she lives in. Remember there was those early episodes where he was like, oh, Louis is going to figure it out for us. You know, he's like, basically like he took over in the daddy's sugar business or whatever. Like he'll figure out how to keep this house for us. And then she just lost her faith in him and blamed the death of their other son on him, and then like almost created this monster by not loving her own son that was surviving. That just is so sad to me. Well, it's all sad, but
it's an interesting like conversation when they're talking about nature, because when you're talking nature, I'm like, oh, I usually associate that with where you come from with your bloodline of like, oh, is it in your nature of that, from where he's contemplating, is it in my nature of the devil within me? And the mom like holds on to pain and motivates her actions. And it seems like when you look at Lestat, he's so free, at least he postures as a free spirit. And that's the way he comes across, right? Whereas Louis, he's so motivated by pain all the time too. So I think like there's a lot of great psychology to how he is in some ways like still the product of his family environment.
Totally.
Know? By the way, how he chooses to operate too.
It was so sad to see his sister scared of him when she was like the last hope on that.
Yeah, that's true.
That was tough.
But I just love every little detail. Like even right down when he's hooking up with that one guy, and that
Jonah.
But yeah, how his heartbeat was just getting so fast, and how it was
Lestat heard
it was
that.
messing with, because I mean it always comes back in some way to Lestat and Louis, but when it came to like Louis in that moment, how he was tempted to then feed off of him, you know, eat him because he could feel the heartbeat. Like, oh, what a complicated life. How do you just? But if
that was hot too.
But if he's able to satisfy those urges by just eating humans, maybe then he can enjoy in the pleasures. But the subtlety of the conflicts that are arising within them, like he comes back home to Lestat, but he doesn't feel, you know, satisfied or like good about it. It's like, oh, I get it. He doesn't come back like, oh, I get it now, Lestat. I could be on board with this open relationship. He's in a lot. He seems even more distant with Lestat when he comes back home, because he's still got so much of his psychological conditioning of the rules he's been taught to abide by. Even though he's a queer man in a society that hates queer people, he still believes in like monogamy when it comes to relationships, you know?
Yeah, and when he says, am I not enough for you? I was like, oh my God, that's a very real relationship conversation.
Yeah. This was a really rich episode.
So good. I agree.
And they have like little touches of, but it's like even with Lestat though, they have little touches that they constantly do at like tease of like even like the cultural appropriation side of him going with the music, and like he invented this music, this blues music cue, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is so neat how much Lestat will even then charm a whole room full of black people right now in this very moment. And that's been one of those things that I've always thought has been in the show a little bit, of a guy who like gets this black guy, and then they have so much commentary about that. And he doesn't like call him directly he doesn't make him his slave per se, but it's in some ways he is his master. Yeah. There's some other version of that. There's some weird thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that you mentioned this throughout a little bit, the concept of memory too, but I'm really enjoying how the actual interview is unfolding, because I think this interview is taking place in 2022. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about 1917, which I don't know if you know this, Greg, but we're talking about World War I era.
That was World War I believe.
Yeah, the World War I era. But the thing about that is I often wonder, like even when, okay, so that's 105 years. My grandmother is 98 years old. My grandfather was almost 100 when he passed. And when they're telling stories of their childhood, you know, that's what they really are. They're stories. They're what you remember. And then you tell the same story 100 times in your life. Mm-hmm. And that story kind of morphs a little bit. And I'm not saying people exaggerate on purpose, although some do, of course. But when we see that one scene with the rain, and he's like, I don't even know anymore. It's like, I sometimes struggle, even memories from when I was in my 20s, which is 10 years ago. So it is interesting that this is a retelling. This is an interview when he's done so many in the past and things change. And it's like, how much of that is on purpose? How much of that is just by the nature of being human and retelling these stories? So he's not a reliable narrator. And that always makes things kind of interesting.
Yeah, the concept in writing of unreliable narrator, and while he's talking to a writer,
right,
and then to do an actual literal story of unreliable narration of how when time passes your memory gets thwarted, but also who you are as a person, where you are emotionally, might remember that memory different because of where you are in the present at that point emotionally with it.
Or was he protecting Lestat? Because when our interviewer, what's his name?
Henry, I think. Is it Henry?
No.
It's not Henry?
Definitely not.
I like that name, Henry.
I don't want to say definitely not, but I don't think so. When he asks Louis, was it raining that night? And because we saw those muddy shoes, and he's like, I don't know. It could have been one thing in the court or one thing otherwise. What he doesn't say is, but he saw us. So I don't know.
Oh, damn. We got some questions.
Oh.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that we had any because you weren't pulling it up.
My bad. Hey.
How dare you?
Royals, thanks for asking questions. This was a great episode. Let's read these quick. Malik. Yay. Our vampire. This is an episode where you really get a sense of Lestat's controlling nature. Lestat being upset about Louis being intimate with another despite him advocating for open relationship, and Louis leaning into the Bowery. He now has a vampire. Do you think that them bringing a new person into their lives would help fix things, or do you think it's just a small fixed distraction for a larger problem?
Latter. Definitely the latter.
I would say it's the latter, man.
Yep. How could them bringing in a new person help fix things?
No.
Certainly not. That's not the problem.
I mean, they're two very, very different people, and they're both trying to like change each other. Like neither one is truly accepting of the other. They just keep judging each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But are like addicted to each other at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess that's what they call a toxic relationship.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Care Bear. Care Bear says, question, if you created a new vampire story in a uniquely hedonistic place/time, where would you go? 50s Vegas, 80s Bangkok, modern Ibiza, or your own pick? Wow, you really just threw out some interesting ones, Care Bear. I don't know enough about 80s Bangkok to choose there.
I choose World War I, specifically the grounds of World War I. Watch what it's like being a vampire.
For some reason, I thought that we were in the 1800s still, but I guess we were in the 1970s.
It's a soldier's outfit that gave it away.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, how's that possible? Vegas would be really fun. But I kind of think like a farm, like somewhere like way more mundane. I know that might not be like uniquely hedonistic place and time. What's a vampire doing?
I have no idea.
Like Iowa.
Or Alabama.
Okay.
Our brains are not equipped for this question today, Care Bear. You're always participating, and we will answer better next time.
Modern Ibiza. Listen, if you want to do Modern Ibiza, Mykonos, put them on an island, see how it goes. A lot of sunshine.
I know we're moving through this quicker than usual. It's just it's my fault, though. Sam Reid, who plays Lestat, said that part of the reason Lestat laughed and reacted the way he did during the open relationship conversation was because he was happy. Oh, it was his choice to react that way. The first time Louis came close to admitting he cared as much as Lestat did. Did you interpret that moment in the same way, or did you think he was being patronizing? I thought he was being patronizing, for sure. Like of a control. I didn't interpret it like that at all.
I really liked the choice, actually, because I thought it was open for interpretation.
Yeah.
And I like that Louis said, don't laugh at me, you know? And so I think Louis also thought that it was patronizing. But I don't think Lestat necessarily meant it that way. I think he found it humorous.
I think, my initial reaction was that patronizing. But then when he started to say some dialogue afterwards, I understood that it was the affirmation, like he's laughing because he cares so much about him.
Yeah. Yeah. Olivia Stale. Hi, guys. Great reaction series so far. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, son.
My question for you today, how do you feel about the relationship between Louis and Lestat as far as your opinion of the level of infatuation / obsession / true respect they have for each other? And is there any side of their relationship you're hoping to the show explores more in depth going forward? Thanks. Olivia, great question.
Roxy's hoping for.
Listen, I just don't want less of that. So just keep up the... I definitely think there is a lack of true respect. It's not giving true respect.
Rarely see them get along, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely not giving true respect. It is definitely giving obsession.
Yeah.
On both of their ends, which I think has to do with infatuation. But we also aren't seeing them as intimate in this. So, like, it's more obsession than infatuation, I feel. What do I hope they explore? I do want to, I know this is less with them, but I am curious with especially the sister storyline. I kind of have a bad feeling that this is going to end in Lestat killing Louis' mom. But I am curious to explore more of Lestat and Louis with Louis' family. I'm also really curious of where Lestat was for the last 200 years and what where he comes from, and exploring that. I know that he mentioned to Louis, like, going on a vacation or a trip. I would love to see where they would go, what that would look like.
You know, I don't really remember who the Kirsten Dunst... I honestly can't tell you who the Kirsten Dunst character was.
I think it's who he just found in the corner.
No, isn't Claudia the girl who's... I thought Claudia was the girl who, like, works for him. No? Am I wrong about that?
Like the money counter?
Yeah, was I wrong about that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I thought that was Kirsten Dunst's character. I could be wrong.
Who does Kirsten Dunst... I might be wrong about that. Play in interview. Let's just get the name. Oh, you're right. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. That recontextualizes that entire moment for me.
Oh, okay.
I did not recognize. Oh, so yeah, I was like, I guess I want to see how much they lean into the parental side of them as like the fix of that.
Yeah, I'd be curious about that too. You know what I'm not hoping for is any kind of romantic vibes with Claudia and...
Oh, no, we should bring that back. Tenfold.
Nope.
Tenfold. All right. Last couple ones. Mike Joyce, if you were a vampire, would you use your powers for good or evil? Oh, my God, for sure, Dexter style, you know?
Definitely for good.
Fine. If it's exactly these powers, find bad people, feed on them, rid the world.
Yep.
There's some people in the news lately
doing it for good.
where I'm like, oh, yeah.
Totally.
There's a whole group of certain people that
totally,
like,
yeah.
we got to find a good chunk of people here. We might be able to find some good, tasty people.
Do you think there's a person on planet Earth who would answer this question that they would use their powers for evil? Like, who's going to say that out loud?
Depends on the definition of what good or evil actually is.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you do evil for the sake of good in the end. Do the ends justify the means?
Jay Rushton. Question, ever been to Mardi Gras, and what is your favorite Southern food or Southern drink? Yes, I have been to Mardi Gras.
You did? The Girls Gone Wild?
No.
That's what I think of Mardi Gras.
Not that, but I did go to Mardi Gras. It was like the greatest trip ever. I've been to New Orleans a couple of times. I went once for Mardi Gras while I was in college. I was standing on top of a cooler, and I looked across the parade, and my cousin was standing right on the other side doing the same thing. We didn't even know each other were there. It was crazy.
Crazy.
Favorite Southern food? What?
I don't know.
Po' boys are so good.
I like the vegan popcorn chicken from KFC when they had that.
I don't think there are any vegans in the South.
Yeah, there are. They sell vegan Beyond Chicken.
Okay. Those were our answers.
Yeah, I do great in the South. Like, no, sorry. Can I just have beans and mashed potatoes?
You could get that for sure. I love barbecue food. I love barbecue brisket. I love ribs. Pulled pork. Cornbread.
Cornbread. Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't like corn, though, but I like cornbread. Isn't that weird?
No, I get that. It doesn't taste like corn.
Yeah, I hate when there's like little chunks of actual corn in there still, though.
So you don't like corn on the cob?
I hate corn. I actually hate corn.
It's corn.
Pickles is the
Do you know
number
what I'm
one I
singing
hate.
or no?
I have no idea what you're saying.
What? It has the juice. It has the juice.
I have no idea what you're saying. Pickles,
What?
corn, sauerkraut. Hate
Do
them
you
all.
like olives?
No.
Okay.
That is part of the category, though, right? You would associate it in.
Yeah.
Don't like olives.
Does Olivia like olives and pickles?
She likes pickles. I don't know if she likes olives. She likes
That's
pickles.
supposed to be the thing. You're supposed to find a partner. If one person doesn't like them, the other person's supposed to.
No.
So
Well,
you're good on the pickle front.
I'll see if our marriage will last based off of this question. You don't like olives? We're in some serious deep shit, man.
This is a problem. All right.
No, she takes care of the pickles. But thank you guys so much for your participation. And thank you so much for being part of the Patreon page, you guys. And this is a great show. Damn good show.
Really good.
So thank you so much. We'll see you guys soon.